Let's go back and take a look at what Peter is saying there in verse 22. Since you purified your souls in obeying the truth through the Spirit in sincere, by the way, the word sincere literally means unhypocritical. So unhypocritical love of the brethren, love one another fervently with a pure heart. So it's just building on where we've been already in 1 Peter. We are strangers in this land. This land is not our home. Our home is in heaven. We're just passing through. And so we're going to face some trials. We're going to face some tribulation, but we're going to stay true to God. We're going to prepare ourselves knowing what lays ahead, and we will stay true to God. And as we do that, he's saying, now that you've committed yourself in a pure heart to follow after Christ, love one another. And not in some superficial, meaningless love, but a sincere, unhypocritical love, that you actually love one another. It's not merely performative. You're not just going through the motions. It's not a checklist of, okay, how am I supposed to treat people? Let me do that. All right, guess I better, offer to help brother so-and-so, even though I don't really like him, right? No. You're not just checking off your religious checklist. From a pure heart saying, you know what, I'm going to love you. That you genuinely care for the other person. Years ago in college, I was working at that overpriced cookie place in the mall. But man, do they have some good cookies. I remember telling somebody I would never pay that much for a single cookie, but if I was going to pay that much for a single cookie, it'd be this cookie. I'm working there. And people are coming up, and and everything's just they're friendly and they're nice. And then I have a coworker who the people aren't always friendly and nice. And she says, well, how is it that you do that? I mean, your customer service. I said, well, because I look at the person, I look them in the eye, and I say, have a nice day. She goes, well, I do that too. I said, yeah, but I actually want them to have a nice day. And she said, yeah, I don't really care if they have a nice day. And there's the difference. Do you genuinely care that the other person is doing well? Do you actually want them to have a nice day? Do you want them to be blessed? Do you want good for them? And I can hear somebody say, well, okay, I know that I should, but I don't really feel that. Well, there's one thing that in our culture we have completely misunderstood. Love is not a feeling. Love is a commitment. You don't have to feel warm, fuzzy thoughts for somebody in order to genuinely love them and want what's good for them. Also, sincere love recognizes that you cannot love or be loved through a wall. It's difficult to love someone when you've got that barrier between you. And there's almost no worse, harmful barrier for love than the fake pretense of godliness that we put up so other people can't see our faults. How often is it that we, well, what's the old story? Family coming in, you're just arguing and fighting in the car, It's like on the way here, you're doing that thing where you're driving with one hand, reaching back and swatting at the kids with the other. Right? You just like, as you're walking in the door, you're practically screaming at your spouse, but as soon as you walk through the door, how you doing, brother? Oh, too blessed to be stressed. Life is wonderful. No, life is not wonderful. And it's okay if among your family, your brothers and sisters in Christ, you can't be honest and say, well, overall everything's good, but man, I got to tell you, I'm a little struggling here. See, because whenever you put up that facade, then that's whenever people love the fake you. They don't know the real you. So how can they love you? You can't receive love because no matter how kind and wonderful someone is being to you, you're always going to have it in your mind. They don't love me. They love that picture of me I've given them. So let's stop being fake.
That little church on Liberty Hill, come praise the Lord, let your cup be filled. Raise your voices and we'll sing, let God's freedom ring from that little church on Liberty Hill.